4 warning signs you are not doing well on the CPA exam. So if you want to learn these warning signs, then keep watching. Hey future CPAs, this is Ala Abudaya. I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Colorado and I help students pass the CPA exam and become CPAs. If this is your first time here and you're interested in becoming CPAs, start by subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell in order not to miss any of my videos. Today I'm going to give you 4 warning signs that you are not doing well on the CPA exam. If you face one or more of these signs during the CPA exam, try to be cautious and careful while answering the remaining questions in order to compensate the possible low scoring in the first part of the exam. So you must learn these early warning signs that you may notice during the exam in order to improve your performance in the remaining part of the exam and hopefully get the passing score of 75. If you want to apply for the CPA exam, make sure to grab your CPA exam application cheat sheet. It's in the description below. It is totally free and it gives you the step-by-step process you must follow to apply to the CPA exam. To learn if you are eligible to sit for the CPA exam and the CPA exam licensing requirements, make sure to check these 2 videos here, which I explained about the eligibility requirements to sit for the CPA exam and licensing requirements. Also, I'm putting up here a checklist about the eligibility requirements per state. So I explain for each state the eligibility requirements to sit for the exam and be a licensed CPA. So make sure to check this playlist in order to learn the states you need to know about. Here are the 4 warning signs you must know. Warning sign number 1, getting easier multiple choice questions in testlet number 2. So if you feel that the multiple choice questions are getting easier in testlet number 2 than the questions you solved in testlet number 1, this is not a good signal. This means you did not do well in the first testlet. Let me explain. For all the 4 parts of the CPA exam, you will get 2 multiple choice question testlets, which are the first 2 testlets. Each testlet contains from 31 to 38 multiple choice questions, depending on the part you are taking. AICPA has 2 pools of multiple choice questions, either medium or hard. Your first testlet will usually contain multiple choice questions that are medium in difficulties. What you need to know is that the exam is adaptive, which means the questions change based on your performance. So if you do not do well in the first testlet, you will get questions that are easier or medium in difficulty in the second testlet. On the other hand, if you do well in the first testlet, you will get harder questions in the second testlet, which of course is worth more in points. I don't want to frustrate you, but if you find the second testlet of multiple choice questions easy, it could mean that you did not do well in the first testlet. If this happens to you, be very careful in answering the remaining questions. Hopefully, you will do well enough to compensate the possible low scoring in the first testlet. Comment below and tell me if you faced this warning sign before or not during your CPA exam and how you did in your exam. To get my best tips and tricks to tackle multiple choice questions, task-based simulations, written communications, and journal entry simulations, make sure to check these 4 videos which I explained about each one of these topics. Warning sign number 2, guessing too many answers. Yes, I always say never leave anything blank, and if you don't know the answer of a certain question, put your best guess and move on. But guessing too many questions is also not a good signal. If you are guessing more than 10 multiple choice questions in one testlet in the exam, this is not a good indicator. It's normal to guess from 4 to 6 questions in one testlet because there are usually pretest questions that are a bit new and weird, but do not count in your score. However, Guessing too many questions mean that you are either not fully prepared for the exam, or you are forgetting the material, or you are not understanding the questions correctly. So this is not a good indicator, and you should know yourself and know how confident you were with your answers. So if you feel that you are guessing too much during the exam, be cautious and read the remaining questions carefully and try to apply what you learned in order to improve your performance in the remaining questions and hopefully pass the CPA exam. Comment below and tell me if you faced this warning sign before or not. To learn my best tips and tricks to increase your CPA exam score and study effectively, make sure to check these 4 videos, which I gave my best tips and tricks to study smarter for the CPA exam, increase your CPA exam score, make an effective study plan, and stay motivated to studying for your CPA exam. Warning sign number 3. Receiving questions on the same topic again and again during the exam. I am talking here from my personal experience. When I took the FAR and the RIG exam the first time, which I failed, I remember the topics I was not sure about used to come again and again during the exam. So for example, I received a question in the FAR part about the governmental accounting and specifically about the fund accounting, which I was not prepared for, and I did not study this topic actually. So I answered the question by putting my best guess, and I took a deep breath and moved on the exam. All of a sudden, I received another question on governmental and specifically on fund accounting, which made me stressed. So I put again my best guess and moved on and hoped not to receive this topic again. And it doesn't stop here. I received another question on this topic again. It was like a beast coming to me again and again. I asked myself, oh my God, how do they know that I don't know this topic? So this is what happened to me, which made me feel that it's like a human who is testing me and not just a machine. It's like someone is reading my brain. So if you receive a question on the same topic again and again during the CPA exam, especially if you are guessing the answers, this is not a good indicator. To get my best tips and tricks to study the 4 parts of the CPA exam, make sure to check these 4 videos, which I gave my best tips and tricks to pass the FAR part of the exam, the audit part of the exam, the RIG part of the exam, and the BEC part of the exam. Warning sign number 4. Spending too much time on certain questions. So for example, taking an hour to complete the first testlet. The CPA exam has 5 testlets with a very limited time to complete. You have only 4 hours to complete all 5 testlets, which include multiple choice questions, task-based simulations, and written communications that appear only in the BEC section of the CPA exam. Applying time management strategies is important for being able to complete the whole exam and passing the exam. Each multiple choice question testlet must not take more than 45 to 50 minutes to complete in order to allow adequate time to answer task-based simulations. If you find yourself stuck in the first testlet and the countdown time reached less than 3 hours, which means more than an hour have passed from the exam time, this is a signal that you may not be able to complete the whole exam, which will negatively impact your performance. Any additional time you take on a testlet will cost you not to be able to give the coming questions their time as well. A lot of candidates spend too much time on some questions and end up not completing the whole exam because it shuts down exactly when the 4 hours are done. That is exactly what happened to me the first time I took the FAR exam. I remember I spent the first 2 hours of the exam solving the first 2 testlets of multiple choice questions, and I was not able to answer the last 2 task-based simulations because the exam time finished and the exam closed, and I did not solve the remaining 2 task-based simulations, which were fully empty. As a result, I failed the exam. So, if you find yourself stuck in testlet number 1 and 2 in time for more than an hour for each, you must speed up and try to compensate for this lost time to be able to finish the whole exam within the tough exam deadline. Comment below and tell me if you faced this warning sign before or not. And make sure to watch these 4 videos to learn the CPA exam structure, the 4 parts of the CPA exam, the time management strategy for the CPA exam, and the skills you need to have in order to pass the CPA exam. So, these are the 4 warning signs that show you that you are not doing well on the CPA exam and that something needs to improve immediately in order for you to pass the CPA exam and get the 75. If you like this video, give it a thumb and share it with your friends and anyone who needs to hear this and learn this. Tell me in the comments below if you have any additional warning signals you faced before during the CPA exam that show that there's something wrong. And make sure to grab your CPA exam application cheat sheet from the description below. It's totally free and it helps you and gives you the step-by-step process to apply for the CPA exam. Remember, go after what you want, pass the CPA exam because you can become CPAs and save the world.